Hey guys, welcome to Muse Themes. I'm Steve Harris, and today we're looking at Karma. Karma is a new responsive theme built by our designer Christopher Watson, and it's very beautiful and it's inspired by a yoga studio. However, it's a really truly flexible responsive theme, and by just swapping out some images and text, you could turn this into a website for any business out there. So I don't usually do videos for themes, but I wanted to run through Karma because it's got a couple unique aspects to it that I wanted to cover off here. So as you can see when I scroll down, there's lots of kind of full width imagery. The site is fully responsive, of course. And there's a couple really unique things, like for example, if you click register, it brings up our Set More widget, and you can then pick a provider, book yourself in for a yoga class, and even pay online. It's got this really nice sidebar navigation system. This is using our Pushy Panes widget. If we go to the class catalog here, you can see that we've got these different options to select, and when we click on one, it expands down. So this is using our new Rapid Reveal widget, and we've included a little bit of custom code in there that's actually doing this circle effect and this kind of angled wedge effect on them. This is just a good way to show you that you can, if you have some code skills, use a little bit of custom code embedded in a Muse site and kind of hack our widgets a little bit to do different things. If I go back up to the nav here, we've got several pages you can use within. These are kind of more text-heavy About Us pages. We've got a contact form here, a simple form that you can use to get in touch with them. So great theme, lots of thought put into it, lots of time building this one. In fact, we built it several times to get it just right. So let me jump into Muse and I'll show you how to edit some of the elements on the site. So when you download the file, you'll notice when you unzip it, you have the Muse file and an Assets folder. Within the Assets folder is all the images we've used. However, you will notice that they are blurry. We can't distribute our source images. They are stock photos, so we just blur them out so you actually have something to replace within the file, but we're not violating any copyright terms. So let's go ahead and click on the Muse file here and see how it loads in Muse. So we get a warning, of course, right away that says some of the assets have been modified. That's the blurring we've done. So we can just click OK and Muse will update the assets. And the first thing you'll notice here is we're on the plan view and we've used the new vertical plan view. So you can change between horizontal as you've seen it in the past and vertical here. So on the left side, we've got two master pages. We have a home master that is being used on our home page, and we have an interior master. And the interior master is actually using the home as its master, so it's kind of a sub-level master page. And that's what's being applied to any of the interior pages on the site. So if we jump into the home master, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see everything a little easier. I'll go to a smaller breakpoint. We've got a couple widgets included here. At the top, we've got Superhero. Superhero is the widget that is controlling these full width, full height hero images. So you see if I go to the home page here, that when it loads, it takes up the full browser no matter what. And even if I was to shrink this down, the content is staying right in the middle and the image is taking up the full browser. That's the Superhero widget. So Superhero is here right on the home page, the master page, and it's set up to use a graphic style called Hero. So the widget's on the master page, but on the individual interior pages, that's where you'll find that hero image with that graphic style applied, so you can change it. Next up, we have Pushy Panes. Pushy Panes is how our menu is built. So if you haven't watched the Pushy Panes video, that's a good one to review. But basically, we have a parent and a child panel. And in this case, it's over here on the the right side. So we have the parent container, and then the child container would be the individual buttons within. So you can go ahead and change your navigation items in here, and they'll show up throughout the site automatically. And below that, we just have a few more. We have a rotating animation that we're using on this little button to open the navigation itself. And we have our Set More booking widget. So this is the widget that allows you to do the online registration. So that's the master page, and the interior master page is pretty similar. It's basically all the same elements. So you'll see that we've got the same widgets on the side, and we can't even click on them. That's because they're being inherited from the other master page. But we've got kind of a different, unique Connect With Us bar on this page. So jumping into any of the interior pages, let's start with the home page. When we open up this page, you see now we can select this hero image here, and this is what Superhero is using, and it's got a graphic style applied of hero. So to change that, we can basically click into it, and you see we have a fill applied, and we just need to replace the fill used there. So we could use something like this, And there you go. Now, one thing you may want to do here is the hero graphic style now shows an override is applied. That's because we changed the background image. Let's just control click on this and redefine the style just to make sure that it's been redefined here and the widget continues to work properly. It should not affect any of the hero images on the other pages of the site. You can see these are all the originals still. Okay, back to the home page here, and I'm going to change that image back because the food one makes 0 sense on this site. And let's keep scrolling down, and there's something else I want to point out here on the site. So we've used a lot of state buttons as containers for elements. So state buttons are good ways to group elements together so that when Muse is responsive, they all kind of stay together and dance together. So if I go to edit this text here, you'll notice that when I click on it, it's within a state button. And then I have to click again to actually access the text frame in there. So just be mindful when you're editing the theme that you actually put your elements back into those state buttons. So you may need to kind of click once and click again to get within it. Or if you're adding new elements to this area, that you drop it within the state button boundaries so it kind of pulls it in, keeps everything together. Below that, everything's pretty straightforward. We've got some full width rectangles that have fills apply. We have another state button here with our text, so we can go in and change text. And everything's looking pretty good here. So let me jump to another page, and I'm going to go to the class catalog. So the class catalog, I'll go to a bigger breakpoint here, is the one that uses the rapid reveal widget. So this widget that expands down. And again, we've got it placed within this state button. You can see up here in the left it says there's a state button. And if we click into the widget, we could go ahead and start modifying the widget settings in the panel on the right. Now, if you don't want to use that circular effect with these kind of wedge elements, the way to get rid of that is to delete some of the embedded CSS that we placed in this site. So basically on this page, you go up to Page and Page Properties. And within the Metadata tab at the top, it says HTML for head. And within that, we've commented it. So basically, this is the wedge shape. This is the wedge background. This is the circle shape. So this is how you can kind of hack apart our widgets. You basically target the class or CSS element that you want to modify, and then you can put in the modifications there and embed it in the head of the site. So because this is the circle shape one, it's got a comment on there, I'm going to actually delete that for a sec. Or rather, you know what? Let me cut it out and click OK. And I'll preview this page again. And now with this page previewed, when I open up any of the rapid reveal boxes, you can see that it's back to a square. That's more how we had this widget set up originally. If I go back to this page and I paste that back in, there you go, and I click OK. Now when we preview this page, those simple CSS overrides should be forcing the circle, and there you go. So that's how you change this element. It's kind of a cool little trick and a way to expand rapid reveal to do so much more than it could do in the past. The rest of the theme is fairly straightforward for editing. It's nicely layered, so we've got layers for each of the different pages. It's nicely styled, so we've got different paragraph styles and graphic styles for all the elements on the site. And in terms of editing everything else, it's just a matter of working through each of the pages. And let's say the team page here. We could change our hero, and all of these are just regular images, usually within a state button container. And you can just go in, click on it, and you could go right click and go replace background image, or you can place a new image in there, whatever you want to edit it up. So that's an overview of our new Karma theme. Again, Yoga Studio inspired, but very flexible, fully responsive, and can be used for a wide variety of businesses. We're really proud of this one, so we hope you enjoy working with it. Thanks again for watching, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Cheers.